I kind of imagine like that first morning in Bruce Almighty after Bruce realizes he has the power of God, where he's just like whistling and walking down the street. That's how Reynardo's walking around right now.
Was infested with ravens, but that didn't bother Reynardo. With each death, the converted Iblis Stone in his gauntlets glowed brighter, and he felt stronger. Wow. He was getting a bit bloodthirsty, wasn't he? Well, he wasn't worried. He was a warrior. They're supposed to be bloodthirsty.
I don't understand. I thought we like fixed the
you got such
Iblis Stone.
delicious looking eyeballs, cawed the lead raven. Thank you, I think, said Reynardo. It never hurt to be polite.
That one was pretty good. We need a, I mean, I'm sure there's a workbench during the path through this level, but we need a workbench with which to upgrade the last of our swords. We've got the materials.
I wonder what happens if I go that way.
Is there a way to get over that? No, there's no platform over there. It's just a pillar. Maybe I should invest a point in getting the extra dash. I dash so constantly when we're just like traversing. Imagine being these ravens that just warped in and don't know I've already activated Ultimate Sword Fu. You stop teleporting, you come out of your teleport, and are just cloven in twain.
This stone was incredibly valuable. Reynardo could sense it. Also, it still had its price tag. The core, absorbed in the stone, was doing its job perfectly. Reynardo could feel a little eldritch jolt every time he downed a raven, but then it flowed into the glowing stone the way water flows down a riverbed. It all felt perfectly natural, as if all his life, this was what he had been meant to do. The Nexus was a key node in the Empire's communications. From here, he could cut the ravens off from all communications with the palace. People had laughed at the government workbench placement program, but you could see the benefits everywhere.
You got me again, game. That's pretty good. Well, there it is. Hanzo would like these. Achievement unlocked. We have all the swords upgraded and looking pretty. Alright, so now we can reassess. Your hits cause shield grunts to take damage and propel away their shields like a projectile. Physical resistance we can probably yeet. Oh, so we do have the level 3 of all the gems now, too. Energy on kill, I feel like, is the way to keep us flowing the most, especially if we're going to use Void Sword, because then after we're done killing, we just get more energy and continue killing. You know what I mean? This feels like a very Iblis Stone loadout, if I'm honest. This is the kind of loadout that the Iblis Stone would indeed approve of. Oh my goodness. Oh, like ravens to the slaughter.
Reynardo tore through the last remaining guards at the outpost like hot coffee through snow. There was a far speaker toad here. He called the council speaker. He knew she would be thrilled. And she was. She wanted him to come back to base. They had plans to discuss and a medal to give him. A large, golden medal.
Smells like a setup,
said Reynardo. Let's talk about who else I can kill. Then the far speaker croaked again.
Hello, Reynardo,
it said.
If you get sick of slaughtering second-rate birds in the Nexus, I'm waiting for you in the mountains.
Zenobia. A witch taunting him. With the stone, he'd finally be her match.
Who cares? I can take her out anyway. Reynardo was becoming a powerhouse. He was ready to bring the fight to the Empire. But then Zenobia sent him an open invitation into a trap. He knew it was a trap. She knew he knew. But whatever she had in store, it would not be enough to stop him. He should go to the mountains and teach her a lesson. It's obviously an ambush. Let's go to the base. Reynardo was becoming a powerhouse. Blah, blah, blah. Of course, it was just a desperate attempt to distract him from his mission. He had the power to save the rebellion, and he would do just that. To the rebel base he would go. I mean, I don't feel like the rebel base does anything more than maybe give Lapino a chance to betray us. And we want FaceTime with Zenobia, so I think we're gonna go confront Zenobia.
Zenobia was taunting him. No doubt she hoped to lure him into a trap, but it didn't matter, did it? He could fight his way out of any trap.
All aggro,
He was
Reynardo
invincible.
rage mode activate.
This was gonna be fun.
Feed on that Iblis Stone power.
So where was this ambush? Reynardo couldn't wait. At Sword Fu school, she'd always studied a little harder, practiced a little longer, complained really a lot less. And then she'd become a sorceress. He'd always known he'd have to take her by surprise or not at all. But this would be a surprise indeed.
So my Bruce Almighty comparison, I think, is officially over. With the Iblis Stone, like, nullified but still influencing us, we are definitely entering symbiote Spider-Man territory. The clever dodge down the street replaced by Toby's oof. Replaced by Toby's finger snap, fist pump, crotch thrust dance. Reynardo's feeling himself.
Imagine if you built a house on one of these things. Oh, that would be amazing. It would be like having a boat.
Alright. Ice Door we did last time. Let's take this guy. Oh, hi friends. Really? Just two of them? What a weird group.
The mountain paths were infested with ravens. That was swell. Every time he cut one down, the stone glowed a little brighter. In fact, everything glowed a little brighter. Look how white the snow was, and how very blue the raven blood was. Seriously, where was she? He wanted to try his new strength against hers.
He's like getting high, and he's coked out, and he's in a blood frenzy. We're turning into what are is it the War Boys in the newest Mad Max? There's War Boys Warhammer.
Welcome to Earth. Reynardo told the corpses. It was something he'd seen in a play once.
All right, we got long stairwell down to a void door. Big respect to this game for having swords that are keys but aren't shaped like keys. I appreciate you. Oh, baloney, I hit you. Bet they're gonna have to try and put him down in the end. He's gonna go power crazy. Yo, I would welcome that ending. That would be kind of rad. Like the tragic hero finale for Reynardo. He unifies the resistance, conquers the Empire, but his power's grown too great, and in the end, the only way to truly save everything is for he himself to fall in battle. That's some like Greek myth shit. Oh my goodness. React. I was trying to work some kicks in, spice things up, make for some stylish looking combos. But man, especially now that I got the upgraded sword food, just not as efficient. Just cut to the core of things, get it done. That's what they taught me at Sword Fu Academy. It's all about efficiency, no wasted movement. I'm surprised I can't light these braziers. That would have been interesting too, to see more like environmental interactions in the world aside from just the key doors, right? Like if there were also
only let you through if they knew you were cool.
Braziers that you could light with the fire sword, and like shadows that you could cut through with the void sword. Stuff like that would have been really neat. I don't want it to seem like I'm bagging on this by all these things that I'm thinking like could have been included, but it does feel like there's some kind of pretty obvious misses. This is the one about her father, yeah? Yeah, this is the one about Zenobia's dad.
What was the point of this gate? Did they think no one would notice the lever?
That's pretty good. Oh boy. I got hit by 2 splody boys. Uh-oh. Well, now y'all doomed. Get out of here with that shit.
If only he had some way to break the ice. Or convince it he was a friend.
Like, I'm still finding treasure chests. But is there a reason to find them any longer? I feel like the way this game is laid out, the developers too thought that there was going to be a lot more to it.
Reynardo felt antsy. He'd found a source of great power. But instead of joining with the rebels, he was on a fool's errand the Emperor's daughter had sent him on. The rebels were preparing a last-ditch attack against the Imperial fleet, counting on Reynardo to show up in time. Would he be too late?
All right, where else could we spend a point? More dashes, yeah? No, we don't want more dashes. This is just faster movement speed in general. Oh, we definitely want that. 100%. Our next one's gonna go into that too. What up,
At the end of
Zenobia?
the path was Zenobia. I thought you were going to ambush me, he said, a little put out. I owe you better than that. Well, what are we waiting for? That, she said, as a dropship poured a bucket of green liquid on his head. Drowsy gas. You can't stop me with drowsy gas, Zenobia. My power's too strong. Zenobia? Where was she?
When he awoke, he was staring up at the sky. Zenobia looked down at him, brooding.
I probably ought to kill you, but that'd be a bit tawdry, wouldn't it? She was tossing the glowing stone from paw to paw. This is pretty.
Zenobia!
He shouted, and then he fell back into sleep.
Reynardo woke up on the Farfarer. His head ached. He drank his favorite hangover remedy, but the brandy did no good.
Zenobia had beaten him again. Oh, he really should have listened to the Iblis Stone in the first place instead of messing around with the core. He had a bad feeling about the upcoming fight, but what kind of hero misses the final battle?
Ah, the drank too much ending. The ambushed by your on again, off again flame and hit with drowsy gas ending.
Ravens.
A
Didn't even seem
classic.
scary. It felt like a chore, like sweeping the practice room at Swordfu School, which he'd done his best to leave for Zenobia whenever he could. What would she do with the glowing Iblis Stone? That should terrify him, shouldn't it?
I wonder if
But
she's gonna kill the
he
Emperor.
just felt dull and
That would be
stupid as he
radical.
carved his way towards probable doom.
Maybe this is the good ending, and I just don't feel like it's the good ending. Yeah. My nose is so itchy tonight.
Oh, they really ought to put a railing on this thing, he thought.
Oh, I don't know about that one. There's a lot of ships. You know, we don't ever really get a good feel for how big and well organized the resistance is. But like they're not big enough to have any support to spare to give to Reynardo on this mission. Other than maybe save Lupino.
Yelling, "Oh yeah!"
But
like it was all so
How the
unfair.
hell are they going to stop this many
He wanted
ships?
to protect himself, protect the world from the Iblis Stone's hunger for blood and souls. And all he'd done is get mugged. Next time he owned a supernatural artifact that wanted tribute, he'd serve it champagne and caviar.
Oh, I thought I had that from a distance. Why just
Everybody knew you
kicked
could
him in the
trust a
chest
raven
off the
further
edge
than
like
you
it was
throw 'em.
Sparta?
But did vertical drop count?
Whoop. Alright, we gotta not die on the final fight over here. Is there one more or two more? I think it's just the one more. Yeah, it's the last platform where we open the big dreadnought mouth. Don't you guys feel dumb? Welcome back. I don't know, we're gonna find out. She mugged me and took the charged up Iblis Stone, so let's see what the ending has in store
was
for
cleaning
us.
blood off her sword and weeping. It's
She did do it.
so hungry. I can't stop killing, she said. But I fed it the core of the Skyripper, and now he's hungry again. She wept. It was true. The Iblis Stone was black again, a void that seemed to suck all the light out of the sky. Take it from me, Reynardo, while you still can. Okay. I'll take it, he said. Yes, he thought. This is what it means to be a hero. To save the soul of even his old enemy when it looked like all was lost. He stepped forward to accept the sword from her outstretched hand.
And she's dead.
He flipped the sword, and the blade went into his gut. As the Iblis Stone sucked his soul into its infinite darkness,
that illustration's
he
awesome.
could vaguely hear a voice, something like Zenobia's chuckle. Sucker. He should go back to some of the
Oops-a-doodle.
choices he'd faced before. Maybe there were new paths that had opened up, like those doors he was opening up all over the map that took him to new treasures and around his enemies. And he hadn't learned anything new this time. He'd done the same thing twice, yet expected a different outcome.
New story completed. Story number 16, The Fox Who Got Mugged. What kind of hero are you? A hero who fights until the end, even when he is humiliated. Reward, 5 wind essence. How is it at all possible that we have now still not unlocked a single truth for number 2?
The book's pages fluttered
seems
to the
crazy
beginning
to
once
me.
again. Faster than before?
Armature Core
And he fell.
Outpost Council. Okay.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the
So no
secret rebel
Iblis Stone
base.
at all, huh?
They needed a game
I guess maybe
changer.
learning about their true
Pieces of
nature
the
is just
Skyripper
learning
had
to avoid
surfaced.
them.
Reynardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert.
Yo,
The
pissed off
Stone
Iblis
was
Stone
hidden there.
Reynardo looks radical.
It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it. To take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lupino needed rescuing. Of course, Reynardo had a pretty strong suspicion that Lupino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Reynardo really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
You trying to cash in free hydrates over there, Schneider?
Every child knew about the Skyripper. The Transcendent Emperor,
All right. Armature Core
as he set foot on
Outpost
the island,
Council.
Reynardo couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lupino still waiting to be rescued? No. He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens. Did ravens drink champagne? Did rabbits? Reynardo
You
felt
mean, why wouldn't
oddly
they? They
thirsty,
like
come to
champagne.
think of it. Why had he chosen the Skyripper? Reynardo never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Skyripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it?
We sure can. Oh, that's right. This one's all like a bunch of weird sneaky sneaks.
See? With enough leverage, you could go anywhere.
Oh, you with the lever jokes. Go, 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 Reynardo. Ooh, a little side staircase. Uh-oh, now you're all gonna die. Fools.
That had been his mistake before, thinking he could win a battle of wills with an ancient evil all by himself. He had to be cleverer than that. Or braver. Or something.
I don't think we've not read this one yet. Okay. The truth behind the Skyripper is shrouded in a thick fog. The most believable tale is that the Transcendent Emperor has used the Skyripper to banish Iblis. Then, the Transcendent Emperor buried the weapon and vanished. Was it a self-imposed exile to rid the world of its last divine presence? Or was it the price to pay for using such a tremendous power? Could the Skyripper and Iblis have a deeper connection than just a weapon and its victim? My rituals will summon the Iblis Stone. Perhaps I should worry that they will also cause the Skyripper to resurface. If that is the case, I should spare no resources to find it. A weapon that can banish a god is an invaluable bargaining chip should the old ones decide to double-cross me. It is in their nature to try. But gods are predictable, and I can rely on that to always be one step ahead. Emperor Isengrim III, Secret Journal. Not so secret now, huh, mister? Alright, so the Iblis Stone's a red herring.
Door number 2.
You'd think I would have learned that in my 7 voyages through the Iblis Stone's temple. Maybe specifically because they tell you it's a red herring. Y'all ain't standing in the way of my treasure chest. Get out of here. Ooh. Unreal Treasures achievement unlocked. Apparently, the game too wanted to recognize my awesome treasure hunting capabilities. Get out of here.
Hey.
Oh, that one found me.
Can't you tell if someone's far away or just really small?
What did that have to do with me dying? Get out. Key is to just not be scared of them. They're much more scared of you than you are of them. You just gotta see an attack. Man, we got extra slow-mo time on that one because I killed the last guy with a parry.
Ah, a puzzle. Reynardo loved puzzles. Except when he couldn't figure them out. On the other hand, if there was a puzzle, it was probably meant to keep people away from something good.
I have a similar disposition on puzzles in that if I immediately understand them, they're wonderful. And if not, I'm miserable. This one appears to be pretty straightforward. Therefore, I like it.
See? That wasn't so hard.
Don't talk down to me, narrator. It has widely stopped giving me materials we don't need. So some of these treasure chests are literally just like, here's a gourd. Here's a single gourd. Thank you for coming by. Alright. Here's our armature.
It was.
Yeah, one little
Skyripper's
energy gourd.
armature.
Here you go.
The stuff that dreams are made of.
Thanks for coming all
Engineers
this way,
dreams, anyway.
Reynardo.
The
Here's your
device was
gourd.
intricate. No one alive had the skill. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Skyripper had a heart, a core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
She always did. That
It was a
Zenobia.
no-brainer. He'd sacrifice...